Keeping up to date is now easier with the JMC Online Parent Access or Online Parent Portal. We now have the alert configuration. So in your JMC Online Parent Access or the Online Parent Portal, click Alert Configuration on the left-hand side. Decide what student you want to work with. I've got 4 students in my family. I'm going to work with Francis. There's 3 items that you can keep up to date on by putting this alert configuration in. Now, if there's a red message at the top that says your school has not activated the alert configuration, you can contact your school secretary administration and inquire as to whether they're going to make that available for you. Once that's available for you, you come in here again, choose the student that you want to work with. The first item that you can check here is parent attendance alerts. If you want to receive emails, if your student is marked absent in a class or for the day, or marked tardy in a class or for the day, you would check these here and then click the Save button. Then, if a teacher or an office professional marks your student absent or tardy, you will receive an email. So it's a great way to keep up to date on your student's attendance without having to call the school or check their attendance report. The next thing we have is a missing scores alert. If you check this, it will send an email alert when a student is missing a score. Now, just to be clear, if you look at a student's progress report, so I'm on the progress report screen now for the same student, Francis, and if I click on a term here and I look at the progress here, you'll see at the bottom of progress report, and you might have never noticed this before, but there's a legend at the bottom where teachers can give an X, an LX, an LI, an M, and an MI. Now, an LX stands for late exempt, telling you that that student's missing a score, but it's not counting against them. It's the same as an M, which is a missing score, but doesn't count against them. An LI counts as a late included score, which counts as a 0%, counts against a student. It's the same as an MI, which is a missing included score, which counts as 0%. The only point here is that when a student is given an M or an MI only, so not an LX or an LI, but given an M or an MI by the teacher because they're missing a score, and it's either not included, it's exempt, or it is included. If they're giving a missing score and then they publish their grades for you to be able to see them, if you have this checked, you will receive an email saying they're missing that particular assignment. So if I go back to the progress report, let's say here that this student right here, under this quiz 1, got an M, which the student did. That teacher published those grades so you could see those grades. You would get an email saying, attention parent, Francis Bernardone is missing their quiz 1 assignment. So it's to alert you to they're missing a particular assignment. So you come here, check that, and click Save. Third item you can look at here is the grade alert. What this allows you to do is you can come in here and put different percentages in here per course, per term. And then when a teacher publishes their grades, if the student is underneath the percentage you have listed here, it will send you an email saying, dear parent, your student is below that percentage. So for example, let's say your student had 75% in their biology class, and the teacher published those grades. Then what would happen is it would look at the percentage you have listed here, and then they'd say, send out an email to you, say, dear parent, your student is below the percentage you set under your alert configuration, and just making you alert of that. Okay? You can come in here and set individual percentages here. Okay? Or you can do them all the same. So if I want everyone to be 70% here, I can do that and click Fill Percentage Column. It'll ask me if I want to do that, and click OK. And that will fill that in there. One thing to note, if you really want to keep up to date on your students' progress, you can come in here for a percentage here for reading and put in 100%. And then what will happen is when you have that in there and then you click Save, then when the teacher publishes, if the student's under 100%, which they're probably going to be 100% of the time, it will automatically send an email to say, here's an update about your student's progress. They're underneath that certain percentage. So it can really be used in 2 ways, to make sure that your student isn't falling below a certain percentage and failing, or if you want to keep up to date all the time, put 100% in there. If you do put 100% in there and your teacher publishes grades every day, you would get an email every day telling you how your student's progress is doing. So it's just something to be aware of. Last thing to know about the alert configuration is this. You can make the alert configuration different for each student in your family. So this is what I've got set up for Francis. I can come here to Billy John and I can say, you know what, I don't want to get emails when he's marked tardy or when he's missing scores, and I only care about geometry. If he's failing geometry here, I'll put that 60 in there and then I'll click Save. Right? So now the way that Billy is set up here is different than Francis. So each student can be set up separately. And that's all there is to the JMC alert configuration.